Hello, and welcome to this dual immersion presentation. My name is Sharice Jones. Today we will walk through the process by which applicants are accepted or waitlisted for dual immersion kindergarten. We will focus on how students apply and how they are selected. Students can be selected for one of 4 dual immersion kindergarten classes, one of the classes at Twain or one of the classes at Mitchell. Parents can apply to only one school or both and rank their choices. Students are selected in ways that maintain program integrity. We know that some of our applicants will be English only, having only experiences in English. Other applicants will be developing bilinguals or have experiences in more than one language. Some students will apply and only have experiences to a language that is not English, students who speak Spanish only. Best practice is to maintain a mix of language backgrounds to ensure that both Spanish and English are represented in the student population. We then consider a tiered randomization that prioritizes siblings, followed by Lawndale residents and children of Lawndale staff, and then students from out of the district. To maintain program integrity, all families will complete a language questionnaire as part of the application. Parent responses to the language questionnaire are interpreted, and parents are notified of the determination. The language questionnaire allows us to create 2 language categories, the Spanish language category and the English language category. Developing bilinguals can fall in either category. Developing bilinguals with well-developed Spanish will be placed in the Spanish language category, and developing bilinguals with varying levels of Spanish and English development will be placed in the English category. This image shows a set of 12 applications which have been placed into language categories. Now we will take the applications in these language categories and prioritize them into the 3 tiers. Our first tier is siblings of current dual immersion students. Our second tier is students in the LESD attendance area and students of district employees. And tier 3 is students from out of the district. Here we can see that the applications remain in their same language categories, but have now been prioritized into the tiered priority levels. Here we have the siblings of current dual immersion students in the Spanish language category, and here the siblings of current dual immersion students in the English language category. The same can be said for Tier 2 and Tier 3. Each group is individually randomized to put the students from this group into a random order. It repeats for all groups so that all students within the same language category of the same priority tier have the same opportunity to get in. Let's walk through an example. In this example, we have 14 applications that qualify as siblings of current dual immersion students in the Spanish language category, 16 English language category for Tier 1, 26 applications for Tier 2 in the Spanish language category, 49 for Tier 2 in the English language category, 13 applications from out of the district in the Spanish language category, and 16 applications for Tier 3 out of the district in the English language category. Students in Tier 1 will be placed first, Tier 2 will be placed second, and Tier 3 will be placed third. We will place students into one of the 4 classes. Each class has a balance of English and Spanish-speaking students. Therefore, we will admit from the applications 26 students from the Spanish language category for Mitchell and 26 from the English language category for Billy Mitchell. 26 Spanish language category students for Twain and 26 English language category students for Mark Twain. Here we have the 14 applications of Tier 1 students in the Spanish language category and the 16 applications for Tier 1 students in the English language category. The letters next to each student's name represents their preference of school, as indicated by the family on the dual immersion application. If the T for Twain is listed first, that was the family's first preference. This family listed Mitchell as their second preference. The next family listed Mitchell as the first preference and Twain as the second preference. Some students only have one letter representing one school that they are interested in. Students who only showed interest in one school will only be considered for that one school. We will begin now to place students into their program of preference, if a spot is available, into the language category to which they pertain. The first student, now highlighted in yellow, will be placed at Twain, their first preference. The next student will be placed at Billy Mitchell, their first preference. These students will be placed at Twain, the next student at Mitchell, and the remaining students at Twain. We'll now move to our English language category and begin to place students into our English language category spots at each school. All of these students will receive their first preference for Twain. These students receive their first preference at Mitchell, and the remaining students their preference at Twain. We have now placed all of the Tier 1 students into their first preference school. We will now place applicants from the second tier. Here we have the 26 applications in the Spanish language category and the 49 applications in the English language category. Again, all families are accommodated at their first preference school when space is available. We begin going through and placing these students. All of these students were placed at their first preference of schools. We'll now place students from the English category. These students are placed at Mitchell, and these students are placed at Twain. This group of students is placed at Mitchell, and we'll pause here to notice that our English language category positions at Twain have now been filled. 26 of 26 spots are filled. The next two applications that we will go through have Twain as the first priority school, first preference school, and Mitchell as the second preference school. Because there are no spaces now available at Twain, these students will be placed in their second preference school at Mitchell. The next student can only be placed at Twain. Because there are no spots available for English category students at Twain, the student will be placed on the wait list. These students will be placed in their second preference at Mitchell, and these students on the wait list. These students can be placed at Mitchell, and we now see that the English language category positions at Mitchell are now filled. The remaining English category students will be placed on the wait list. Now that all Tier 2 students have been placed, we will place our Tier 3 out of the district students. We have students who will be placed at their first preference school, Twain, in Spanish language category, these students will be placed at Mitchell. These students will be placed at Twain, and Twain's program is now completely filled. These students will be placed at Billy Mitchell, and we now see that the Billy Mitchell program is filled. The remaining student in the Spanish language category will be placed on the wait list, and the students in the English language category are also placed on the wait list. Families can expect notification of acceptance or declination by March 4th of 2022 by email. If you do not receive this email by March 4th, please call one of the school offices to ask about the status of your child's application. Accepted students must complete the steps outlined in the acceptance letter by the dates indicated. Waitlisted students will remain on the waitlist until November of 2022. The family will be contacted by email and phone if a spot becomes available. Thank you very much for watching.